You were told a college degree would change your life, but no one mentioned that the golden ticket might actually be a 20-year payment plan that quietly steals your future. I'm a Jazz. I have a master's in finance, and I've spent years breaking down how money really works, not how schools and lenders want you to think it works. Today, we're going to expose the student loan trap and why your degree might be costing you way more than you think, even if you've already graduated. Picture this. Sun is out, the stadium is packed, graduation music is playing. Hundreds of students in caps and gowns throw their hats into the air. It's pure cinematic joy. Parents are crying, friends are cheering, photos everywhere. That moment feels like the beginning of freedom. Now freeze that frame. On top of that beautiful slow motion shot, imagine a giant number popping up on the screen. $37,000. That's not your salary. That's the average student loan debt a graduate walks out with. Now let's zoom in on one of those graduates. We'll call her Emma. Emma did everything right. She got good grades, picked a decent school, didn't party too crazy, graduated on time, but she walks across that stage with a secret weight on her shoulders. $45,000 in student loans at 6.8% interest. $45,000, and her lender says, "No worries, Emma, just make your minimum payment each month. It's totally manageable." Here's where the trap begins. Because those manageable minimum payments, over 20 years, they can turn Emma's $45,000 into more than $78,000 paid back in total. That means her education doesn't cost $45,000. It cost her almost double. And that difference, that invisible 30-plus grand, isn't in the brochure. So let's unpack how that happens. Why the famous college degree earns you $1 million more story is often a half-truth, and how someone who never went to college might quietly catch up to, or even beat, the educated graduate. And don't worry, this is not an anti-education rant. This is an anti-blind debt reality check. Because once you understand the math behind this trap, you can play the game very differently. Let's go back to Emma. She's 22, just graduated, and has $45,000 in federal loans at 6.8%. Her lender sets her up with a standard plan. It sounds harmless. Just pay a few $100s a month, and you're good. But a few hundred over 20 years is not what your brain thinks it is. If her minimum payment works out to around, say, $340 to $360 a month over a long term, she's not just paying back $45,000. By the time she's done, it's over $78,000. That's like buying the same degree twice. The lender's business model depends on you focusing on the monthly payment, not the lifetime cost. Middle-class people are trained to ask, "Can I afford the monthly?" instead of, "What is the total cost?" That exact mindset is how people get trapped in long car loans, horrible credit card cycles, and yes, student loans that quietly double over time. If you only remember one thing from this video, remember this. Anytime someone offers you a payment plan, don't just ask, "How much per month?" Ask, "How much in total?" That tiny switch can save you tens of thousands over your lifetime. Now, the big argument that justifies all this debt is the degree premium. You've heard this line. On average, a college graduate earns $1 million more over their lifetime than someone with just a high school diploma. Sounds incredible, right? $1 million more. Who wouldn't borrow $45,000 to unlock an extra million? But here's the uncomfortable part. That million is an average, and averages hide a lot of pain. They mix together doctors, engineers, lawyers with baristas, teachers in underpaid districts, social workers, humanities majors working in jobs that don't need degrees at all. They also quietly ignore 4 massive things. 1, the 4 years you're not earning full-time income while you're in college. 2, the cost of servicing your debt, like Emma paying $78,000 on a $45,000 loan. 3, the opportunity cost of not investing anything during those early years. 4, the risk you never graduate or you end up in a low-paying field. So let's bring the myth down from theory into a very real face-off. On one side, we have Emma, did college, has $45,000 in loans, starts her career at 22 with that debt. On the other side, we have Tyler. Tyler did not go to college. At 18, while Emma is buying textbooks and ramen, Tyler is working a full-time job earning $35,000 a year. It's not glamorous. Maybe he's in sales, trades, customer service, or a junior tech role that doesn't require a degree. But Tyler makes one extremely powerful choice. He lives like a broke student without actually being in school. He decides to invest $500 a month starting at 18. Think about that. While Emma is sitting in a lecture hall and swiping her card at the campus bookstore, Tyler is earning real money and shoveling $500 a month into investments. He does this consistently. We'll revisit him in a second. Let's fast forward 4 years. Emma is 22. Tyler is 22. Emma graduates with a degree, $45,000 in debt, and 0 investments. Tyler has no degree, no student loans, and 4 years of full-time work experience. If he actually invested $500 a month from age 18 to 22, that's around $24,000 invested. With compounding, that might already be creeping up above that. More importantly, he's built the investing habit. Now, the common pushback is, yeah, but Emma is going to earn way more. College grads earn more over time. Sometimes that's true, but the question isn't, do a lot of grads earn more? The question is, does your degree at your cost with your debt actually put you ahead? Because what most people don't see is the race between debt and compounding. Emma's first paychecks are split between rent, food, and loan payments. Tyler's first paychecks have been split between rent, food, and investing for years. By age 30, Emma might have finally gotten a decent salary and paid down some of her loans, but she's only just starting to invest properly. By age 30, Tyler has 12 years of investing behind him. With money, when you start often matters more than how much you make. Let's bring some rough math intuition into this. Don't worry, I'll keep it friendly. If Tyler keeps that $500 per month going and earns, say, a reasonable stock market return over the long term, by age 40, his investment account can be in the low to mid 6 figures. Meanwhile, Emma might be earning more than Tyler yearly by 40, but she had 4 fewer working years at the start, spent years servicing loans, and probably only ramped up investing once her payments felt manageable. The outcome? It's entirely realistic that by age 40, Tyler's net worth, no degree but no debt and early investing, sits surprisingly close to or even above Emma's. And here's the key idea. The $1 million degree premium evaporates quickly when you study a low-earning field, you borrow a lot to do it, you take a long time to pay it off, and you delay serious investing into your 30s. That's the trap. You think the degree automatically puts you ahead, but the way you finance it can keep you stuck in the middle. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not saying drop out, never go to college. I'm saying stop treating student debt like this sacred, unquestionable, good debt. In fact, let's talk about the middle-class money mindset that locks people in. Middle-class families are often told a very simple script. Good grades leads to good college, leads to good job, leads to good life. What's hidden between those arrows is loans with 6 to 8% interest, decades of payments, and a constant feeling of, I earn okay money, but I never seem to get ahead. At the same time, they're taught other harmful habits. Focus on monthly payments instead of total cost. Use credit when you're short. Buy status symbols to look successful. Follow safe, traditional financial advice, even if it's outdated. This mindset is why you see people with degrees, good jobs, nice cars, and nice apartments, but no actual net worth. They look rich. They're actually fragile. So how do you break out of this trap? Let's flip the script. First, let's settle the debate between college is a scam and college is the only path. Real answer. Some degrees are fantastic investments. Some are financial landmines. Medicine, engineering, certain tech fields, high ROI majors from affordable schools, those can easily pay off. But a 6-figure loan for a low-paying field? That is not noble suffering. That's a bad deal. If you wouldn't borrow $80,000 to buy a business that makes $35,000 a year, why would you borrow $80,000 for a degree that points you toward a job paying $35,000 a year? You have to start thinking of a degree as a business investment, not a personality trait. This is where the break-even calculator mindset comes in. Before committing to a degree, ask, what is the total cost? Tuition, living, books, fees, for all years. What is the realistic starting salary in that field? Not the dream, the usual. How fast do salaries grow in that field? How much would I earn if I worked full-time instead of studying? What could I be investing during those years? If you compare, Path A, go to college, borrow money, graduate with debt, start at X salary at age 22 or 24. Path B, work from 18, earn, invest a fixed amount monthly, maybe do cheaper upskilling later. You can estimate at what age Path A actually overtakes Path B in net worth. That's your break-even point. If the break-even comes very late or never, it doesn't mean never study. It means don't borrow heavily for that specific path, or find a cheaper, smarter way to get similar skills. Let's talk about those smarter ways because this is where we move from fear to strategy. If you're considering college or advising someone who is, there are 4 big levers you can pull. Number 1, community college first. The first 2 years of a lot of degrees are general education, intro math, basic writing, intro science. You don't need to pay premium university prices for that. Going to community college for 2 years and then transferring can slash your total cost dramatically while delivering the same final credential from the 4-year school. The piece of paper says the name of the university you graduated from, not spent first 2 years saving money at community college. Number 2, employer tuition reimbursement. This is one of the most underrated hacks. A lot of companies will help pay for your degree if it's related to your job. That means you can work, earn, gain experience, and study part-time with your employer, picking up part of the tab. Instead of borrowing $45,000, maybe you borrow $10,000 or even zero. Imagine Emma, but with employer support and part-time studies. Suddenly, that $78,000 total repayment number could shrink massively. Number 3, be ruthless about degree ROI. Not all degrees are created equal. Some are passion projects. Some are economic powerhouses. You don't have to chase only high-paying jobs, but you do need to understand the money side. If your dream field is low-paying, you must keep your costs low. Choose cheaper schools, scholarships, work study, side hustles, so you don't trap your future self. Borrowing $20,000 for a $40,000 job is one thing. Borrowing $120,000 for a $40,000 job is a slow financial disaster. Number 4, understand income-driven repayment for damage control. If you already have federal student loans and your payment is killing your budget, income-driven repayment plans can be a safety valve. These plans reduce your monthly payment based on your income so you don't suffocate month to month. But here's the twist. Smaller payments usually stretch the loan out longer and increase the total interest paid. So income-driven plans are a tool, not a magic fix. They can help you survive now, but if you stay on them without a plan, you could pay way more over time. So if you use them, combine them with a strategy. Cut lifestyle inflation, build an emergency fund, attack high-interest debt first, and once you have breathing room, start adding extra on top of those minimums when you can. Now let's go back to Emma and Tyler one last time because their story holds a powerful lesson. At 22, Emma has a degree and debt. Tyler has a job, investments, and experience. At 30, Emma might be finally establishing herself. Higher income, maybe a promotion, maybe a better city. But she's still carrying that monthly loan payment. Tyler, if he stayed disciplined, has a solid investment base and no degree payment dragging him down. At 40, both of them could be earning good money. The difference in their net worth might not come from who's smarter or who worked harder. It comes from who let compounding work for them versus against them. Emma's compounding is split, some in her investments, some in the lender's interest. Tyler's compounding mostly works for him. And this is where the two hosts in this conversation, the go-to-college voice and the skip-it-and-start-early voice, actually agree. Education is powerful. Debt is dangerous. The best path is not college or no college. The best path is the highest ROI, learning you can get at the lowest possible cost as early as possible while letting compound growth work for you instead of against you. So if you're watching this and you're 16, 17, 18, this is your chance to avoid the trap entirely. Question every price tag, compare paths, Look at total cost, not just campus vibes. If you're 22, 25, 30, and already have loans, your life is not ruined. But you do need to shift from "I'll just pay the minimum forever" to "how do I minimize the lifetime cost and start building wealth at the same time?" That might mean moving to a slightly cheaper place for a few years, driving a used car instead of a financed new one, cutting subscription creep and lifestyle flexes, putting every raise and bonus toward debt and investments, not lifestyle upgrades. Because the same middle-class habits that keep people broke with credit cards also keep them stuck in student debt longer than necessary. You don't have to play that game. Here's the core mindset shift. Your degree is not your identity. It's an asset or a liability on your personal balance sheet. Your loans are not a background noise. They're a business deal you signed when you were a teenager that your 30 and 40-year-old self has to live with. And your future net worth is not decided by a piece of paper. It's decided by 1,000 small choices. Where you study, how you borrow, when you start investing, and whether you ever sit down and say, "What is my break-even point for this path?" If this video makes you even slightly uncomfortable, that's good. Discomfort is the first step to waking up from the "everyone does it, so it must be fine" trance. So next time someone says, "college grads earn $1 million more," you'll know how to respond. You can say, "Some do, some don't. It depends on the degree, the cost, the debt, and what you do with your money. I'm not anti-college. I'm anti-blind debt." And if you want help actually running the numbers on your situation, whether your degree makes financial sense, how long your loans will really cost you, and what your Tyler versus Emma break-even looks like, then you're exactly who I make these videos for. If you found this breakdown helpful, do 3 things for me. First, share this with someone who is about to sign their first student loan and has no idea what they're walking into. Second, hit subscribe because we're going to keep breaking down the money myths that keep the middle class stuck. Third, tell me in the comments, are you more like Emma or Tyler right now? And what's the one change you're going to make after watching this?